The prairie was quiet at sunset. Isabelle Carter, tired from mending fences, was about to step inside her ranch house when she heard a sudden knock at the door. She opened it to find two identical girls, dusty from the road, standing on her porch. Inside by the fire, one of the twins handed Isabelle a folded letter. The writing was hurried. "Belle, protect my girls. I am hunted. Trust me as once I trusted you. E.T." Isabelle's heart sank. Eli Turner. His daughters had come to her for shelter. That night, the sound of hooves thundered across the dark hills. 4 riders approached with lanterns swinging. One shouted for Eli Turner. Another demanded the children. Isabelle stepped onto her porch, rifle in hand, and answered firmly, "No child leaves this house while I live." When the riders finally turned away, the twins clung to Isabelle's skirts, their eyes filled with fear. Isabelle knelt, steadying her voice. "This is my land, my home, and now yours too. No one will harm you here." The girls held on tighter. For the first time in years, Isabelle felt her lonely house turn into a home. The storm rolled across the plains that night. Isabelle sat by the window with her rifle on her lap, watching the dark horizon. The twins slept by the fire, their small hands still clasped together. She knew the riders would be back. At dawn, a lone rider appeared in the distance. Isabelle's breath caught when she recognized him, Eli Turner, worn and weary, but alive. He dismounted quickly, rushing to his daughters. The twins ran into his arms, tears of relief shining in their eyes. Eli explained in hushed words. The riders were outlaws, men he once rode with before he turned away from crime. They wanted revenge, and gold he never stole. Now they hunted him, and his only hope was Isabelle's ranch. Isabelle listened, her jaw firm. She had taken in his girls, and now she would stand by him too. The Carter ranch was no longer just Isabelle's. It was a fortress for the small family it now sheltered. Together they stacked wood by the windows, checked the rifles, and prepared for whatever storm of men might come. Isabelle stood tall beside Eli, no longer alone. By dusk, dust rose on the horizon. The outlaws had returned, this time with more men. Lanterns swung, and the sound of hooves carried across the open plain. The twins clutched each other, but Isabelle stood steady with Eli at her side. The fight was coming. The outlaws halted at the fence line. Their leader called out, "Turner, bring us the gold, or we'll burn you out." Eli stepped forward, rifle in hand, but Isabelle raised hers first. Her voice rang sharp. "No man crosses this fence tonight. Not while I stand." The riders shifted uneasily. This was no frightened widow. Gunfire cracked like lightning. The outlaws charged, but the ranch held fast. Isabelle and Eli fired from cover. The twins crouched low inside, whispering prayers. Sparks flew as bullets struck wood. When the smoke cleared, 2 riders lay in. The dirt and the rest turned tail, their courage broken by the defenders' stand. Morning broke quiet and golden. The threat was gone, for now. Isabelle leaned on her rifle, weary but unbroken. Eli rested a hand on her shoulder, his daughters safe at his side. For the first time, the ranch no longer felt empty. It felt like home. The ranch was still. Isabelle walked the fence line at dawn, her skirts brushing the dew-soaked grass. Every sound carried, hawks calling, the creak of wood, the quiet laughter of the twins chasing each other by the barn. For the first time in years, her land felt alive again. Eli stayed on, helping mend fences and repair the barn. At night, by the fire, Isabelle finally asked, "Why did you vanish after the war?" He looked into the flames, his voice low. "Shame, Belle. I wasn't fit to come back, but when trouble came, I had nowhere else to turn but you." The twins soon filled the ranch with laughter. They helped with chickens, carried buckets of water, and followed Isabelle everywhere. One day, the elder twin whispered, "Ma'am, can we call this place home?" Isabelle's heart softened. She smiled, brushing a braid from the girl's face. "Yes, darlings, this is your home now." The threat of outlaws still lingered beyond the horizon, but the Carter ranch stood stronger than ever. Isabelle, Eli, and the girls sat together on the porch as the sun dipped low. For the first time, none of them faced the future alone. Whatever tomorrow brought, they would meet it as family. A week later, Isabelle rode into town for supplies. The general store went quiet when she entered. Men whispered in corners. She caught the sheriff's eye, and he leaned close. "Belle, word is those outlaws ain't finished. They're gathering. In the hills." Isabelle's grip tightened on her basket. Trouble was coming. Back at the ranch, Isabelle shared the warning. Eli set his jaw. "They'll come in force next time. We can't just wait here." Isabelle agreed. Together they planned, fortify the barn, train the twins to hide, and prepare horses for a quick escape if needed. This wasn't just survival now. It was war. Late that night, Isabelle woke to the hounds barking again. She slipped outside, rifle in hand. On the far ridge, under a rising moon, shadows moved. Too many for hunters or travelers. The outlaws were watching, waiting. Inside, the twins stirred, frightened by the dog's growls. Isabelle knelt beside them, her voice calm and steady. "Don't be afraid. You're mine to protect, and I won't fail you." Eli watched from the shadows, something soft breaking in his eyes. For the first time, he whispered, "Belle, you're stronger than any man I've ever known." Word spread that the outlaw gang had broken apart. Their leader was wounded in the fight at Carter Ranch, and the rest scattered into the hills. For the first time in weeks, the prairie was quiet. Isabelle stood at the fence, watching the horizon, and knew the danger had finally passed. With peace returned, the ranch grew lively. Isabelle, Eli, and the twins worked side by side, mending barns, tending fields, and filling the air with laughter. What was once a lonely home now rang with the sound of family. One evening, Eli joined Isabelle on the porch as the sky blazed with sunset colors. He set his hat on his knee and spoke softly. "Belle, I've spent my life riding from the past, but if you'll have me, I'd like to spend the rest of it standing still, right here with you and the girls." Isabelle's heart steadied. She met his eyes and gave a small nod. The prairie stretched wide and endless, but the Carter Ranch was no longer just land. It was a home, a family, and a promise. What began with a knock at the door ended with love, courage, and a future built together. Isabelle smiled as the twins ran laughing through the yard. Her life had changed forever, and she was glad it had.